Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. But if you did, I greatly appreciate it. Hey, it's another October day, and we are counting down the days to Halloween, and we're doing that with a Halloween Advent calendar where we watch one movie, horror film, or something adjacent to horror every single day this month. So let's get to that Advent calendar and find out what we are watching today. October 22nd. What are we watching?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn, all right. Been a while since I've watched it, and this will be a first time watch for you.
Yep.
Man, it was great getting back to From Dusk Till Dawn. It had been a while since I've seen it. Last time I saw it, I mean, I was living at home. I was probably in junior high, maybe high school, watching it on movie channels. I think Cinemax is what we had at the time. And I don't think I've revisited the film since. So it was pretty fresh in a lot of ways. I remember as a kid, junior high school age, my favorite parts were like all of the special effects going on with the vampires, like stuff towards the end of the movie, right? That's where all the action was. That's where all the horror was, all the vampires, all the blood guts, all that sort of stuff, all the strippers, all of that stuff, right? But watching it today, it was different because I sort of preferred the beginning. Like, we're watching the movie and it's like, this is a really great Tarantino movie. It's Robert Rodriguez, but Tarantino wrote it and also acts in it. And you're just like, man, this is a good Tarantino movie. And you're just following along, having a good time. And then we get to the titty twister. And when we're there, it's still a good film. But then the vampires start showing up, and the movie comes to a complete halt and is just not as interesting or fun or as well shot or well acted as it was previously. And I mean, I think I've heard people say that before. Like, they don't like when we get to the vampires. It's like a really good, interesting movie, and then it's like, okay, we don't need the rest of it. And I feel like I felt that way this time. George Clooney, though, like, I don't know, I said better acting. I feel like George Clooney kind of throughout it, I feel like he's not acting that well in it. Some parts he is, but other parts just felt a little like, I don't know, like it wasn't a good actor, which was surprising. I never noticed that before when watching it. I wasn't really looking for that sort of thing back then. Especially when watching this movie, I was more looking for stuff happening at the bar. But yeah, it was just interesting that this time I was sort of not as captivated by all of the vampire stuff. That was just not as attention grabbing. But everything at the beginning, I just wish that movie could have kept going somehow. Or just have like the vampire section at the end be like a blip in the movie, and then the movie keeps going. I think that would have been funny if there's just like this weird little vampire section in the middle, and then it turns back into a regular movie. Actually, that would be really funny. Why didn't they do that? That would have been great for something incredibly supernatural to happen, horrific to happen. With vampires, which none of these people believe in, and then that's only like maybe 15 minutes of the movie, and then the rest of it we go back to a normal movie. That would have been fun. It was great seeing Harvey Keitel, Juliette Lewis, Tarantino. He's really funny in it. He's like sick and twisted, and he has good dialogue, and I think he acts really well in it. I really do feel like George Clooney, well, I don't know, like Tom Savini. Tom Savini and Greg Nicotero are in it, legendary makeup, special effects people. But Tom Savini as Sex Machine, I mean, he's over the top, but he's supposed to be over the top, I feel. So you can't say like he did bad acting. I think he did what he was supposed to do. But it was like a shift in tone compared to the first portion of the movie. Cheech Marin, he's playing like what, three people in the movie. He's kind of over the top as, actually I don't know his character's name, but during the vampire section. I don't know. It's great to see him too, and it's weird. I don't. What is with him playing three characters? Is that just he's doing it to do it, or does that mean something? Is there metaphor there? Are they these three people related? Are they triplets? One of them went the path of law enforcement. One of them went the path of uh, vampire. The other went the path of um, crime person. So, and actually, I'm trying to remember now. Just watched the thing, but Cheech Marin's vampire person, was he always a vampire? Because he like worked for the titty twister. So yeah, he was always a vampire, right? It wasn't like he was killed and then yeah, okay, yeah, always a vampire. But yeah, really like seeing him. Danny Trejo as well. Also, are the sequels good to this? I've never seen 2 or 3 or the show. I guess Danny Trejo is in both movies, and it's weird. Both movies, I just looked this up, came out in 1999 because when we were watching it, we actually streamed it, even though I own this. We streamed it, and then it's like watch part 2, watch part 3 afterwards, right? And I was like, wait a second, Danny Trejo? How's he in this? And then I guess one of them's like a prequel. I think maybe the third one's a prequel. I don't know about the second one, and I think the show is like a retelling of the first movie. Is that right? But yeah, I'm curious to know if anybody has watched those and are they worth the watch. But I like Robert Patrick. I guess Robert Patrick is in part 2 and the television show playing different characters. And then part 3 is like a prequel, right? Like old West cowboy days. I don't know. So I don't know. I guess that's really all I have to say about it. Is the I shifted the way I appreciate this movie. It's I'm not all in now for the second half. I'm more in it for the beginning, and I wish the the vampire section was just a tiny little sequence in the movie, and then then went back to normal, because I don't feel like it really picked up again. So the vampires show up and then it slows down, but then I feel like it sort of did pick back up when they sort of get like locked into like that hallway room where they're storing all of the cargo that the vampires have stolen from the different truckers and stuff. And then we got this montage of them getting ready. Like, that's really exciting. And then when they have all the weaponry and are fighting with it, that's all really exciting. But you do get a lot of the vampires doing sort of like the Foot Clan in the background, or the Putty Patrol in like the Power Rangers, where they're just like in the background, just waiting to fight, when it's like, hey, you're a vampire, a powerful vampire, why don't you get in there and then start biting some necks? But instead they're all, just waiting for the next, to be the next one to fight. They're waiting in line, basically. So, that's happening in the background, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just, it feels like a lesser movie, a different movie. That's probably a better way to say it, because it's not like it's lesser. I don't want to go high art, low art sort of thing. It's different. It's different. So it's like you're watching a Tarantino, and then it turns into Power Rangers at the end, or Ninja Turtles at the end. But I used to watch Power Rangers, and I love the Ninja Turtles. So why am I complaining? I shouldn't be complaining, because I love those. But yeah, going back to the sequels and the television show, are those worth a watch? I really like Robert Patrick, so should I check those out? I'm curious on what you think of the quality if you have seen those. I'd love to know. But regardless, I had a great time watching this, even if the second half is not where what I find to be my favorite anymore. I think I like everything leading up to it. But this was a great time getting back to this. And my wife, she actually, while we were watching it, she's a lot of time is passing before we even get to the vampire stuff, and she's like, and she doesn't know much about this movie. And she goes, "Am I wrong in thinking that this movie's about vampires?" And I was like, "Oh no, you're right," because a lot of time had passed. And she's like, Why aren't we dealing with vampires yet?" And then at the end of the movie, she's like, "I don't know what I expected that movie to be, but that wasn't it." So she thought it was. I don't know. I don't really know what her final verdict was, but I just know that whatever she thought she was getting into, she didn't get into that. So it was kind of funny. It was much more different than she expected. Anyway, let me know about the movies and the television show. I'd love to know, what do you think of this one? Which part do you like best? Do you like the more crime drama thriller, runaway heist? What do you call that? Bad guys on the run movie? Or do you like the horror at the end? Do you have a preference, or do you like them equally? I probably like them equally. It was just I noticed the shift, where before I'm just, really waiting for the vampires and the titty twister stuff. Um, anyway, so let's talk in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more pure hangout.